Hi everyone, welcome back to Perception Paradox. This is Zivile, your host, and today you're up for another treat of inspiring episode. Today we're talking with Justina Klyviene, who is a CEO and founder of Future Leadership Laboratory Academy. She's also a coach and founder of HealthTech Accelerator. So, as you might guess already, this whole episode is about health, mindset, goals. Well, we do love goals this month, right? Goals are great. And yeah, it's full of inspiration how you being a mom of triplets, moving abroad to a new country, uh, keep your positive mind and aim for success. Tune in. I hope you learn a lot as I did during this episode and let us know what you think. Real people, real stories, and real challenges that break the status quo. I'm your host, Zivile, and welcome to Perception Paradox. So Justina, welcome to Perception Paradox. How are you today?
Very good. Hi, thank you so much for having me. It was my dream actually to be on this podcast because I was following you since you started it. So super excited.
I'm very happy to have you here. So for the ones who don't know yet, Justyna is like literally a true force of nature, from founding a future leadership company to working in health tech and also being a mom for triplets. She has just moved to Barcelona with all the three kids. I don't know. So let's start with your journey. What keeps you actually full of ideas, projects, and courage?
You know, Zivile, I think that for me, it's like the main thing. If I can imagine, I can create it. So usually it starts from there because I had a dream to living abroad for, I don't know, since I was a little girl. And I thought that one day maybe it will happen. Then suddenly I realized that I am 40 plus. And, I'm not getting any younger anymore. And I started to think, okay, so should I give up on these dreams or I just need to pursue them? So I decided, okay, it's time to do it. That's why I moved to Barcelona. But basically, everything starts from imagination. And I have a lot of different dreams. Not everyone I achieved already, but hopefully one day.
Tell me, where are you getting your positive mindset? Were you always that positive? And because we met with you back in 2000, I think it was 14 or 13 when I was part of Rotary Academy and you were my mentor.
Yeah.
And I remember it really well. You always had this light approach to life, always had this kind of positive spirit. Back then you were working in a bank, but always were fueling with innovative ideas. So I'm very curious to hear, were you born this way? Did you learn it from someone else? Or did you practice to have such a positive approach towards life and everything you do?
Oh, it's very good question and very difficult one. I think that, my childhood was very, very difficult. I was raised by a single mom. I have one brother. So our summers we were spending in like Kaimas,
In the
basically.
village, yeah.
Yeah, in a village far away from the great city, and all our toys were invented by ourselves. We were like playing in the garden all day. So I think it comes from there because we still were kids. We wanted to play. We wanted to have fun. So we invented a lot of things or imagined a lot of things. And then when I started pursuing my professional dreams and I started my professional career, I knew that everything what I want to achieve, I need to create myself. So, with a negative mindset, you can't reach a lot of things. Basically, you really need to keep yourself like empowered. You always need to talk this internal dialogue where I can do it, I can achieve it, it belongs to you, or, you can do it, basically mindset. And I was doing it. And not everything went very well or very easy, but basically it helped me a lot. And actually now I'm teaching my kids that no one else is responsible for your attitude. For instance, if something bad happens, you can always choose which mindset you would like to have. Is it disaster or it's just an opportunity to learn something new? So I usually do it for myself. I teach these things my kids as well, that you always can choose. You are free to do everything what you want in your head, basically. But if you will look into the world that, oh, it's super difficult, it's challenging, I can't do it, then of course the reality is similar to that. So
Yeah, I think that negative self-talk can really put you very down. It's like this saying, right? When you have a glass half of water, how do you see it? Half empty or half full?
yeah,
So I think
exactly,
it really
exactly.
resonates.
And especially nowadays when we have this all social media things and so on, because if you look at social media, everyone is very, very happy. Everyone is super rich. Everyone is traveling. I don't know when they earn money or do something related to work. But even for myself, I started limiting myself from this whole social media buzz, because I noticed that I started like talking negatively with myself, that, oh, you are not good enough, you are not enough, you are not doing so great as other people, and so on. And then I said, oh, no, don't go this way. You just need to stop there and try to think about your own goals, not the, goals which society brings to you or push you to accomplish, but what exactly you want to achieve with your life. What is your dreams? What is your goals? And yeah, just work on them.
Were you always setting your goals back in the days?
Yeah, I think so. As far as I remember myself, I was setting my goals. And now I think I am even more on this lighter side, because before that I was like having really 10, 15 goals per year, which I want to accomplish. And usually all of them I did. Now I'm just saying to myself, okay, make sure that health is your number one priority. Make sure that family is your number one priority, and so on. I'm not setting very, very like concrete goals anymore, but still I have like vision for the upcoming 10 years, what I want to achieve. For instance, my first 10 years of professional life was basically career oriented. I wanted to build these leadership skills, coaching skills, business development skills. Then the next 10 years was everything about building my own workplace. I created future leadership. I worked on health tech. And then upcoming 10 years, I would like to focus on entrepreneurship, basically productization, where I could rely a little bit more on other people rather than myself. So I'm shifting to another stage of my life currently. So yeah.
Nice. That's exciting.
Yeah, super exciting. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
okay, from being hardcore goal setter to bigger visions to more like being, I guess, grateful and easy on yourself. I do recall you were really hardcore all the time. I learned so much from you on all those goal settings and really just going for it. It requires a lot of discipline. So, talking about that, right? All the success, great results, big projects, it comes at a price, right? Freedom
Yeah.
comes at a price. So,
Yeah.
what sacrifices have you made, and how did you navigate through this whole emotional role?
I wouldn't say that it was sacrifice, but still, yes. So most probably I haven't participated in so many parties as other young people did. I haven't did some other things, but usually when I had a spare time, I always was reading, learning, investing into myself. So my husband even made a joke a couple of years ago that then I'm really, really sick and I can't do anything. Then during this day, I will read at least one book. So, but it was my choice, because I really thought from the beginning that when you have a lot of time, when you are young, what you can do, you can invest into yourself. And you can do it in many different ways. Of course, you can volunteer and participate in different projects where we met, where you also were investing in yourself by participating in this Rotary Academy. So it's one thing when trying different things, when reading, learning, taking different courses. And I think that, for instance, from the innovation perspective, I participated in the majority or almost in all best schools in the world. I tried their courses. I went physically there. I met with different mentors. So I really invested. And now I think it's time to earn from these investments. It was not sacrifice. I never saw it like this. I saw it more like investment. And of course, when 10 years ago, my kids were born, so I wanted to slow down a little bit at this phase of my life and spend more time with Van. When I had cancer, it's naturally slowed down me a lot, a lot. So basically, it was, I couldn't say it was a balance, but still, when you have long-term vision or long-term priorities, it's easier to navigate. So I was navigating instead of sacrificing.
Okay, that's a very nice answer. And how did your life change when you got cancer, actually, and went through all this whole healing journey?
I think it haven't changed much, actually. The main thing which I put on my priority list, so of course it was health. Before that, I was like working a lot, not exercising so much and doing like many other things, which usually young people do. But from that time, I started like really putting myself as a number one priority, my health. And another thing, I started to work on my dreams more. More enthusiastically, because I understood that you can't postpone life. So basically, if you have a dream and you want to go somewhere or to learn something or to create something, you need to do it now. Because none of us, we don't know when it will be finished. So basically, that's why I moved to Spain, because then I understood, okay, so then, if not now, then. So I can't like prolong these things anymore. And many other things. I visited many interesting countries since then. I ate the most delicious food since then, because now I said for myself, you can afford everything what you want. So these kind of things. And also I started to having like maybe a little bit bigger visions, because when you survive cancer, you can't say that you fight it against it, because you can't fight with a cancer. But basically, you understand that mindset, team, ecosystem helps you a lot. And then I realized that, okay, so I have this internal power to do things, and I can do bigger things, maybe more impactful things. And this HealthTech project also came after my illness, so it changed my life completely. So yeah, in a way, from the professional perspective, it changed a lot. From my personal perspective, I always was stubborn, always was believing in myself, always knew what exactly I want. So it haven't changed a lot. Yeah.
Okay, you still have this wild power and fire within you.
Yourself as well, actually. We are similar to this.
We are, but we also were working together at some point, and we both see how much time it requires and energy to launch such projects, to maintain them. A lot of behind the scenes. How do you stay grounded, and how do you actually calm yourself down from the busy mind?
It's very, very difficult for me to do, actually. Now I'm using red light, I meditate, I walk on treadmill. Although I live in Spain, actually, but not each and every day I have like possibility literally to go outside and walk, because as you already said, I have kids. So when we come back from school, I need to stay with them, I need to cook, I need to do all regular things. So I try to navigate and put all these things together. So yeah, I start my day with red light therapy and meditation, when I work a lot, when I cook dinner for my kids, then I try to walk on treadmill a little bit, still stay with them in their house, but at the same time take care of myself. I watch a lot of positive movies, podcasts. I try to eliminate all negative information. As I said, now I started like limiting myself to social media. But also, I'm not reading like disasters or any other like very, very terrible news, because I really am empathetic person, and I then feel very deeply sorrow for these people. So I just can't do it. So I know my boundaries, but it's still difficult. I can't say that I'm managing it very well. It's very difficult.
It's all about trying and then finding what works, what doesn't, right? If we don't try, it's nothing gonna happen. We can always say it's too difficult.
Exactly. I was trying even to write like positive things about my day, but I'm so bad on this journaling things that I couldn't. I don't know, maybe your listeners know how to do it and they could advise me, but actually I haven't managed to put it into my schedules, and it doesn't work for me. I even tried to do like recordings about my day, about my
Wow.
achievements, just to make sure that I am making progress and I'm still like calming myself down, just saying that you are on the right track, you are doing progress. But no, it doesn't work for me either. So
No, that's so interesting. It never worked for me, any journaling or anything. And I think time by time I started kind of familiarizing with it, warming it up. And somehow for the last now, literally it's going to be a month. No, it's going to be 2 months, I think, when every single day in the morning, in the evening, I would find time for my notebook actually. And I would write there 3 things I'm grateful. And yeah,
Mhm.
it sounds very maybe cliche, but I've realized that sometimes we have such big goals and visions, and especially if you have vision in mind, it's so hard to start or to get or to move the needle because you already start not panicking, but overthinking about the things that still did not happen. So actually, that practice for me, it really worked, and I'm still trying to do it and to calm down. And I combine it with meditation, actually. So it's kind of you kind of also sit on that, on those thoughts. So maybe
Yeah,
always having
because
a
I
nice
think,
notebook.
yeah, exactly. I have many wonderful notebooks, very beautiful ones, but it doesn't help. But I strongly believe what you are saying is true. So I still will try to somehow pursue this and try to incorporate into my daily routines because, for us visionaries, it happens so that we already like a couple of maybe years or decades ahead, but sometimes it's so important to stay grounded and just to make sure that, okay, so you have this vision which you want to pursue, but what happened today is quite directly impacting your journey. So I really would like to start.
Mhm. Nice. So, but you're working with many, you've worked with multiple hundreds of teams, I would say, when it comes to innovation, both corporates, both startups. I'm more curious to touch base on the smaller companies and startup perspective. So, since you also running yourself accelerators, mentoring in many others, teaching at universities, what do you think separates the successful ones from the rest when it comes to scaling the business and building innovative ideas?
I think the simple answer would be doing versus thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I really admire these people who can think great visions and they have great plans, but even more admire those who just start doing. And sometimes I even catch myself that I don't have a great vision in one or another project, but I just started doing it and I learned so much that now I can define so what exactly I want to create. So I think the first thing is doing, and another one is maybe experimenting, because for me it's like crucial thing. You shouldn't know all answers. It's not possible to know all answers, but at least try to learn some methods how to experiment and test your ideas. So what exactly in this particular moment you can do in order to get the valuable information? Is it working or not? So I can give you an example. For
Mm-hmm.
instance, even your example with this podcast. I'm not sure if you knew how much you will achieve, how many interesting people you will meet along the road, but I know that you just started. You just started one day recording this podcast, and now you can see, looking back, what impact it created. So usually with businesses, it's a similar idea. And I met so many, really bright minds, but they are just building these castles inside their head, and they are not making any real life progress. So for me, the essence is like, it's better to start small. Maybe it's better to start not knowing everything, but at least to start. What else? Looking forward, I think that if we have already like this doing mindset, experimentation mindset, then to build a great business, you need a team. So at least, you need to surround yourself with positive, with interesting, with different people, and somehow try to motivate them to embark on this journey together with you. Because I think that you can't create a great business alone. You really need to do this supportive team. And then focus on resilience, because along the way, a lot of different things will happen. Of course, you won't succeed from the first time. You won't succeed most probably from the fifth time as well. But still, you need to focus. You need to redefine. You need to pivot to another things which you think matters at the time, and try to pursue your dreams. Because if you believe that I will start this amazing business and it will start and it will be successful from day one or from the first time, I think you are crazy. Really,
Well,
really, because
sometimes, yeah.
the world is so complicated, so many moving parts, so many regulations, so many different things. And it's like if you have such a high expectations, then you are putting such a like pressure on yourself. It's not needed to do. It's not necessary actually.
But nowadays we have kind of a big pressure of how we should live our lives,
Yeah.
mortgage, housing, car, owning things, even though the younger generations are changing it a bit. So I don't know, how did you get out of this kind of a spiral trap? Or maybe you've never been into one, for example, and you
Yeah,
always
sure,
followed your
I
gut.
was. No, no, I was. I own a house. I have my own car, but I'm thinking maybe I need to sell now because I think that we got trapped in this spiral because we think that we need to own, we need to look very good. But now I started following this approach that minimalistic is also luxury. When you have capsule of clothes, when you have very qualitative things and you don't need a lot of them. For instance, even with, I don't know, with jacket, if you have very, very high quality one jacket, you will feel that it's not even possible to change it because it looks after 5 years like a new one.
Yeah.
So for me, I started choosing these high quality things, and I have them not so much, but I really enjoy them. When it comes to other like things, jewelry or something else, of course, like everyone, I like them as well. But I don't know, it's not my priority. I have a lot of books in my house, so I spend a lot of money on books, and I think it's okay to do like this. And I like to travel to different places, and I spend a lot of on hotels because for me it's like the true luxury is to spend time with my family in very nice environment. Yes, I spend a lot there on these kind of things, but it's still if you work hard and you are not allowing yourself anything, so it's not worth doing at the end. So for me, it should be balanced, but I'm not paying so much attention what kind of telephone I have, what kind of watch I'm wearing. So it's not important for me. And I also noticed that a lot of young people, they also started doing like this because we prioritize like health, we prioritize sport equipment, actually, they prioritize experiences. So I think it's true luxury. And, true luxury doesn't cost a lot. It's health, nature, time, friends. So,
Well, it does cost you setting your priorities right? And
yeah,
staying
yeah, yeah,
outside of the
exactly.
noise.
Exactly. But I think with the noise, we also have so many options. If we could just stop scrolling all day and read instead, or meet with a dear friend instead, or go to pursue our business dreams. So, each of
Yeah,
us, we have a similar time limits, but some of us, we reach a lot and some not. So I think it's, of course, priorities. Priorities,
100%.
mindset, resilience, positive self-talk, all these kind of things.
100%. And also, my new favorite right now is starting your day with the hardest thing you have for the day. That's
Very
so
good.
difficult. That's so
It
hard
is.
because
It
it's so
is.
easy to do all the fun stuff. And then you just realize, oh, the
Yeah.
day is over. Maybe I don't have time anymore for the difficult part.
Oh my God, it's so good that you mentioned it. I actually also started like now already a couple of weeks. I write for myself like 3 main things which I really, really need to do during this day, and I can't finish my work unless I did this one. And sometimes I notice and I catch myself in the middle of a day just browsing through my emails, trying to reply to someone and so on. And then, Justyna, you need to go back to your main 3 priorities. And usually they are very difficult to do. Yes,
Yeah.
because we can feel so busy with answering emails, checking our social media accounts, posting something and so on. And it seems so advanced. Oh my God, I was doing so many things. But basically, you were working in the factory and clicking something, which is not creating value for your dreams and goals. That's why your approach, what you started doing and what I'm doing, is very, very crucial. You need to start from the difficult, maybe not so exciting things, but at the end of the day, you will see that we are making the biggest difference in your life.
We are moving the needle. So,
Yeah.
Stina, you are also, I think, have a very strong, I wouldn't call leadership image, but you're a strong leader among many women who wants to get into innovation, tech, leadership positions. From the early beginning of your career, you really had high positions at the banks you were working, and then later on starting building your own business. So what role does diversity play in driving better innovation nowadays?
I think essential, because innovation comes, the best innovative solutions we were created from different perspectives. For instance, if we will take any, I don't know, healthcare solution, if you build it just from one perspective, most probably it will be limited. It won't represent all kind of patient needs and so on. That's why you need diverse teams from gender perspective, from, I don't know, backgrounds, culture, everything should be very, very diverse, because if we want to serve like the majority of population, we should have the majority of you in our teams. And the worst case scenario is when you are working with like-minded people. I mean, from you choose to hire the similar to yourself. It's a huge mistake. Of course, it's the easiest thing and the most exciting and most funny thing to do, because it seems so, everyone agreeing with you, we have all the similar mindset and so on, but it's not true. So it's better to have very different views, and it's not so easy. You really need to be very mindful about it as a leader, because usually you are not the brightest mind in the room when you surround yourself with very strong and very different people. Because all of them, we have different mindset, and you need to listen, and you just not need to listen, but you want to listen. You want to hear their opinions. Different generations, we see the world so differently. And I think it's a very, very valuable asset which we need to incorporate in our teams. So not just women, everyone.
Yeah.
We should be very diverse in order. For instance, my decision to move to Barcelona, it was one of it, but I really wanted to explore the other culture. What does it mean to live in different environment, to taste different food, to know different people? And I thought that it will be very beneficial, not just for myself, but for my kids as well, because we will expand their vessel, their knowledge base, their understanding about the world. So yeah, it's very important.
For sure. So how do you find people to join your projects and to join the missions? Do you go there and convince them about the big mission and vision you have in your mind, or you kind of try to matchmake based on the skills they have or previous encounters you experience, and then you think, oh, might be a good fit for, let's say, a new project together?
Usually I look for crazy people. Really, it's true, because I really look for ambitious people, growth mindset people, those who don't want to fail or to try new things, because usually, for instance, when working together with you, we started this Alter State initiative, which is across Baltics. Remember, in our project, people from 22 different countries participated. We never ever imagined that it might be possible. So for me, the main thing is this positive attitude and different skills, but also high ambitions, ambitious and growth mindset personalities. Because I think that when people know that we want to learn, it's very easy to work with them. We can take tasks which we don't have experience with, or we don't know how to accomplish, but we will find out the way. But those people who really look for very calm atmosphere, we want just to do these things which we know. So I can't work with them. For me, it's very, very difficult, because I don't know all answers. I don't have time to explore everything and to write long emails giving instructions what to do. So basically, I look for entrepreneurship souls to work together. And, throughout the years, I was very, very lucky to find these people like yourself, like my partner now in HealthTech Accelerator. She's amazing. She works as a professional product manager in one of the biggest companies in Lithuania, but she also helps me a lot with accelerator programs. And I can see that she's growing year by year. She's developing completely new skills, which when we met, she was not having. I'm very, very happy to surround myself with these people, because, at the end, by working with such a team, I grow myself as well.
Yeah.
It's so
Amazing.
enriching. It's so enriching experience.
So great to hear. So talking about your HealthTech Accelerator, I'll ask you, when companies come and pitch and then they have this jury and everyone asks, so why are you different? How does it make you unique in the market? So how does your actually accelerator differ from others in the space, and what are you trying to achieve here? Because it's not the first edition you are launching, and I heard that you're coming back even stronger right now. So what's the mission behind?
Yeah, so the mission is that we want to accelerate innovations from doctors and nurses, because I strongly believe that doctors and nurses, we know exactly what problems we need to tackle, what might be the solutions, but what we are lacking tech and entrepreneurship skills. So we are aiming to put them together with tech and entrepreneurs. So basically, the main difference compared to other acceleration programs, that our primary target group is not startups. It's doctors and nurses, scientific teams who has an ideas and they would like to make them commercial, or they want to put the science into the patient journey and so on. So I met a couple of times with different investors and they said, "Oh, Justyna, so you are not working with the startups." Yes, one day we will become startups, but now we are more like doctors and nurses teams who has an idea. So it's one thing. And another thing, now 2 years in a row, we were the main ecosystem force in Lithuania for doctors and nurses education and acceleration. But now we want to become a pan-Baltic initiative. So starting from this cohort, which we are launching next week, we are aiming to become a top player in the Baltic region, where doctors and nurses, if they have an idea, if they have some scientific background, they could join this initiative and create this
Okay, that's amazing. That's really ambitious. And that's really changing the healthcare system overall. So talking about the healthcare, what kind of most pressing challenges do you see in nowadays healthcare system, and how can we address it with the technology?
So one of the main challenges, I think, efficiency. Doctors and nurses numbers are decreasing. We are lacking specialists in the majority of areas. And I think within the hospitals, we really need to increase efficiency. How do they split their time? And I'm pretty much sure that your listeners also felt this when you are visiting doctor. So 15 minutes is just writing something into the computer, and a couple of minutes pure attention to you and your needs. So I think we need to change this one. Another thing is, of course, prevention. Now we focused on how to cure different disease, but we need to put our emphasis on prevention. The third thing is, now it seems so that we as a patients believe that for our health are responsible doctors and nurses, but actually ourselves, we are responsible for our health. So we need to put responsibility on ourselves. Then a huge trend is telemedicine and how we can serve underserved areas of countries, people, and so on. And for instance, this week I had the honor to visit one of the best children hospitals in Europe, for sure. It's number 3 in Europe, but maybe in the world as well. And I saw what we are doing with telemedicine and what approach we have to the patient journey. I think it's mind-blowing, and we have a lot of things to do in other hospitals in other countries.
Okay, that's inspiring. So how can people actually join your accelerator? They have to be from the Baltics or not necessarily?
Not necessarily, but we prefer Baltic teams, and we really invite them to visit our HealthTech Accelerator.lt page, where the registration will be open for months or so. And if you have idea, or you have scientific article, or you have very good defined patient needs, so please contact either myself or our accelerator program. We will try to work from there.
Nice. We will leave the links in the comments. So thank you so much for sharing about such a big mission you're solving. I think it's super inspiring and so great to see the growth of this whole initiative. And I can't believe it's going to be just bigger and bigger every year, for sure. Hopefully, I wish that. So talking about this whole journey called life and all the different challenges you had. So what would be, if you look back now on your journey, what would be the biggest lessons you learned about resilience and innovation?
I think my biggest lesson was that the mindset is the key. If you believe in yourself, you can achieve everything. Doubting, then it's quite difficult. So I would start from mindset. It's one thing. Another thing, experimenting and step-by-step approach. You can't eat elephant at once. You really need to cut it into the pieces and start doing something. It's another one. And then the third one, surround yourself with different, inspiring, positive people and try to learn from them. Don't try to teach them anything, but just try to listen and learn from them. And it will be more than university, I think.
Amazing. Yeah. Golden lessons by Justyna. So we're getting closer to the end, and I have this tradition in the podcast to ask my guest to leave us with one thought to ponder during the day after the episode is over. What would be your thought to share for the listeners?
I think that each and every activity is art. So I wish you all to create your own kind of art, and I will keep on doing it myself throughout this day and next couple of days in the week. So I believe that we all are artists, and we just need to choose what kind of art we want to create. So I wish you good luck with this one.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Where can people follow your journey? What's the best channel?
LinkedIn, for sure.
Okay, so I'm going to leave the links in the podcast episode description. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. It was Justina Klyviene and her inspiring journey about mindset, resilience, about really achieving big goals and dreaming big. So it's never too late. So have a great day wherever you are, and see you next week. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Hey, we